indie hidden gem hunting. So don't really have like a theme this time. I just calling this one Volume 3. We're gonna be taking some chances on smaller, unknown games. Before we get into the rest of the video, I'd like to mention that my Steam game, Laser Rush Reloaded, is available to play right now. Shoot, climb, slash, dash, jump, slide, and ride into the most intense roller coaster of a movement shooter platformer that you've ever played. Experience challenging, chaotic combat and high-stakes platforming at the same time. Fight at top speed and laser rush. Also, I want to make sure the game is as good as possible. Any feedback is greatly appreciated. You can do so in the Steam Community Hub or wherever else. Let's start out with Platform Gun. It's a solid concept where you have a gun, but your bullets can be used as platforms. There's also sort of a second part of this where you can sort of delay the movement of your bullets. It'll start off slow, but you hit a button and it goes fast. That's sometimes used for puzzles. I think they could have been expanded on a bit more. It's a solid 2D puzzle shooter. It's not perfect. There's turrets that shoot way too fast for how slow your movement speed is. There's also like these health stations that take way too long to recharge. Also, there's like one area sort of near the beginning of the game that I found a bit too hard for where it was. Next, we have Space Station Sprint. In this game, you have a small amount of time to shoot your way through an FPS level and get an objective and leave. It's a solid, fast-paced shooter. It's a bit counterintuitive to me for someone who likes to kill every enemy. It's fairly good shooting, and there's two abilities that are good. I don't like how sometimes the objectives are kind of hidden, which seems counterintuitive to the speedrun pace. It's also a bit expensive for a 2-hour game, being generous on the 2 hours, but I bought it on a significant sale. Overall, a fairly good shooter. Next, we have what I think is the first true hidden gem I've found on this series. It's the Rewind Factory. Probably didn't get a lot of attention because, like many Steam games, it's not particularly good looking, and I know that my games aren't particularly good looking. This one's better than mine even. But then, unfortunately, even if your game has good gameplay, your game's just not going to get a lot of attention if it doesn't look really nice. Anyway, so this is a fairly good movement shooter. It's not exactly the next Titanfall, but it plays pretty well with some solid shooting and wall running. There's a titular rewind mechanic that works pretty well, where like you use it to get health and ammo back, and you can also use it to like correct your jumps or all sorts of stuff, and it works really well. I have a couple more minor complaints. I think the air control is a bit too slow. Once you jump, you feel a bit locked into that momentum. Also, I had a glitch where sometimes I couldn't ADS, which is really important in this game because aiming down sights slows down time. That's probably the biggest issue I had, but it wasn't extremely common. But overall, it was a pretty good game. Next, we have the demo for Spider Fox. So this game isn't out yet, and I'll assume that the developer will improve the game between this game and release. This is a fun, goofy concept, but unlike some other type of games like that, the developer takes the gameplay seriously. It's an open world, web-slinging collectathon. The game is set on a good track, but there are a lot of areas to improve. Number one is that the web-slinging should have more swing speed. There's an upgrade that helps, but it should feel better. You also need to have more control over your swinging. You tend to plop into wherever you're grappling at. Also, most of the places to grapple on are vertical. I think this game would really benefit with more horizontal grapple points. I know that's harder to contextualize, but it would be really helpful for the style of swinging they're going for. Well, they could also do auto grapples, but that would be hard to change. This game could also use more real combat. It's mostly just shooting webs at things that are moving slowly towards you and don't often shoot back. There also should be better level design that's less repetitive. Any open world game needs a series of eye-catching points that string you along throughout the open world. Anyway, so those were the indie games I found this time. Not a bad bunch. Thank you to anyone who likes, comments, or subscribes. That's it.